What's up, y'all, and thanks for stopping by the Surge T channel. I am Surge T, and tonight I'll be doing my rundown and thoughts on NXT UK for the 2nd of September 2021. We are raring and going already into this month of September. And let's talk about NXT UK and Blair Davenport. Last week we found out that she was the opponent of Nina Samuels, to much to her displeasure, because she starts screaming like a madwoman outside. Somehow Nigel McGuinness or Andy said, "Oh, she's happy." No, she wasn't. And here's why. Blair Davenport, she came out first, and then when Nina Samuels comes in and she's, doing her entrance and she's on the apron and she gets taken out by Blair Davenport. And this was before the match started, before the bell. And then Sid Scala comes in after the other officials and the referees were in there, and he gets the same treatment. He gets a high knee to the face, and then he gets the Falcon Arrow. And there are sure to be repercussions for this turn of events. But apparently, Davenport doesn't give a you know what. You look at how she goes about it, how she even talks to the other women in the locker room. She don't give a you know what, like I said. So we'll see what happens. As the show goes on, and we'll see what possibly is going to happen to her next week. Aoife Valkyrie suffered a debilitating injury during her match with Ginny, the no DQ match last week, and she's going to be out indefinitely. And Ginny has clipped the wings of Valkyrie, and she is standing tall, even though the match was won by Valkyrie, and she was destroyed by the fashionista nonetheless. She's the winner, but she doesn't look like a winner after delivering that power bomb off of the turnbuckle, but then her knee buckled. It looked pretty ugly, and she just came back from an injury, right? She just did, and then she was en route to challenging, Meiko Satomura, and then she was handed her first loss. So we'll see. I mean, either she was injured or we just didn't see her a while because of the whole thing with the COVID, and a lot of them couldn't wrestle. So maybe that was it, but this is really a great, not a great, but a pretty bad setback for her. But she'll bounce back, and I can't wait to see her again because she's one of my favorites. Now, six-man tag team match next week with Symbiosis versus Saxon Huxley and partners of his choosing. And I say he chooses Mustache Mountain since they have a history with Eddie Dennis and his cohorts, I should say. And he could probably give Saxon Huxley a little bit of what you call it, a little bit of advice on how to deal with them as they, team up. But that's just me. That's what I would do for Saxon Huxley. But let's see what he does, as it will be revealed later on during the evening. And then we have two unfortunate gentlemen, Dan Maloney and Andy Wild, who will face Jack Stars and his mountain of a partner, the bomber Dave Mastiff. And in the end, we see one of them in a tree of woe, and Stars hits a diving headbutt, and then it's followed up by Mastiff as he goes into the void, hitting that cannonball. Which every time I see that big mother, you know what, do that, holy crap! This guy, and he's very very athletic for his size. Amazing, just amazing. And building up that momentum towards a possible tag team title shot. And then the tag champs, pretty deadly. There was one point in one of the matches, I think it was the Dave Mastiff one, the tag team match, and Nigel McGuinness just says that, oh, they have pretty heads on top of their shoulders or something like that. He says, I'm like, nobody asked you for your input. Like, he has an infatuation with those two guys. They're good looking dudes. I'm not gonna say they aren't, but it's like he's infatuated. Nigel McGuinness, he's in love with Pretty Deadly, but they apparently are TikTok sensations, and they're doing some cringy, hokey dance, whatever they were doing. And luckily, Gallus members, the Coffee Brothers, Joe and Mark, come in, and they thankfully put a stop to it, pushing, who's that one? One of them, the blonde one. Because their names I still haven't, their names, because their names really aren't catchy or aren't really like easy to remember at times. Howie's one of them, and who's the other one? Stoker, right? So it was Howley. Yeah, it was Howley that got thrown into the thing, got thrown into the drink, as people say, and put a stop to it. And they said that they're a disgrace, and they're, like, you guys are the champions, and I'd love to see Gallus face them again, because I believe they beat Gallus for the tag team titles, but it wasn't Joe. It was Wolfgang that was partners with Mark. So maybe the brothers, who probably got more of a synergy, more of a chemistry, they may take the titles from them, if that's going to be where they go. The focus for the tag team titles now. And then next week, it's announced that there's a replay of the NXT UK Championship match, Walter and Dragunov 2. And they have special added insight, and it's going to be from a number of WWE superstars and legends, like we saw them do with the first match, with their first encounter. They're going to do the same thing. So let's see how that goes. You're probably going to have the match going on, and you'll see a little box in the corner there, and you'll see whoever talks, Shawn Michaels, Sheamus, whomever. I'm looking forward to that, because I want to see the match again. I wouldn't mind watching that match again. Now, the French Hope Amel, right, goes one-on-one against Amelia McKenzie. McKenzie trained in Japan under current women's champ Meiko Satomura. That was brought up, and I didn't know that she trained under Pete Dunne as well. This makes her double dangerous. Pete Dunne, a lot when at that time, the longest reigning UK champion until Walter surpassed him, and then Meiko Satomura, the current women's champ. Wow. And in this match, she's setting the pace, but it wasn't long before Amel would turn the momentum in her favor. And for the duration, she slapped on the $1 million dream, which I guess you can call the $1 million dream. I don't know, corny, but it kind of goes together. So yeah, I came up with that too. So I'm proud of myself, man. Yeah, right. And despite Amel putting together a series of moves, really great offense out of her, and she connects with a vicious kick in the corner. It's like what Dakota Kai does when someone is laid back against the second turnbuckle, and then someone comes around corner and kicks you. And that was a vicious kick. And despite that, she gets pinned by a roll up by McKenzie, and she gets the victory. And I'm sure that will make her mentor proud. So a good match with her, and then another notch in her belt, I guess you can say. And if she's looking to challenge her mentor, she's on the road to doing that. But I think Amel still wants to have another shot. She really proved herself. She really opened my eyes to her. I didn't think she was much. And then when she was in that match with Meiko Satomura, and I think not only myself, but I know it opened up a lot of people's eyes. And she's legit. She really is. And it's ready and forward, or ready and onward. I'm trying to remember if it was ready and forward or ready and onward, but nonetheless, Saxon Huxley accepts Oliver Carter and Ashton Smith's offer to take the team up and take on Symbiosis. Like I said earlier, that's going to happen next week, and that should be a banger of a match. That should be hard hitting. I can't wait to see that match. And I don't mind Carter and Smith. I think they're a good team. They're good wrestlers too. So especially Oliver Carter, a lot of athleticism out of that guy, a lot of just amazing offense that he could put together a series of moves and really throw you off your game. So I can't wait to see that match. It's going to be a fun match. Now, this right here is a trade off. It's like a trade off of banner of between Sam Gradwell and Wolfgang, going back and forth. It's a pre-recorded thing, and they show it to us. And Sam Gradwell, he says no one embodies honor, prestige, and heritage quite like he does, and Wolfgang doesn't have that. Now, Wolfgang says that he has asked for a rematch a number of times after Gradwell left a bloody mark on his face. And it happens to come in the form of the Heritage Cup tournament, so he gets his match. Now, the last time they met, says Gradwell, he got broken ribs. I remember that match. And where's the honor and technical wrestling in that? Yeah, where's that? Where's it at? But Wolfgang, he's a hard hitting guy. He's not all finesse, right? And Wolfgang says he knew Gradwell would recover in time and meet him in the ring. And he's either really, really dumb, really brave, or really, really stupid. And I know which one I think it is, says Wolfgang. Now, when you and I face off, says Gradwell, when that catchy Gallus music hits, and it is a catchy thing, and you make those doggy noises, calling yourself the big bad wolf, I want you to know that all you are to me is a big bad yogurt. Did he say yogurt? I don't know. And I will web you all over BT Sports Studios, and I know, and the 6 rounds if I have to. He's willing to go to full 6 rounds in the Heritage Cup, number one contender tournament, and that's dedication. That's someone who definitely wants to make sure that he earns that victory. And Wolfgang says, you need to look into my eyes, Sam. You'll see there's a constant state of reckless abandon. When I see you in that ring, Sam, you're not going to just have to deal with broken ribs. I don't know if you're still dealing with them ribs, maybe still a little tender. But I'm going to break every bone in your body when I'm through with you. So Wolfie is not playing either. I think that's going to be a hard hitting match. I loved the British style. I love when these guys wrestle, and just like with Joe Coffey and Rampage last week. Holy crap, that was an amazing physical match. I love those type of matches, and this is going to definitely be one of those. And it's going to be under Heritage Cup rules. I'm loving me some of those Heritage Cup, matches. I love it. And speaking of one, Nathan Frazer and Teoman with Rohan Raja in his corner. And this is the final. Well, not the final, but the one of the two last remaining opening round matches in the Heritage Cup number one contender tournament. The winner of this will go and move on next week to the semis. And as usual, the opening round is always a feeling out process, and not one man with a fall. I don't think if I've ever remembered a one fall, going to anybody in the opening round. It's like you're feeling them out. No one's tired yet, because these matches really tire these dudes out. Like by the time the end is there, they're practically laying on the ground, laying on the mat, and not being able to move. I mean, they're drained. So in the first round, you pretty much got to feel like your opponent. Like, let me see, what am I going to do? What am I going to focus on? Am I focus on his leg? Am I focus on stuff like that? You know. And so opening round, like not one man with a fall, and then Frazier finishes on top with a drop kick as the round ends, but with no fall to either man as the second round begins to pace. That was like at the end of the first round, and as the second round begins, the pace picks up, and both men are being quite aggressive. And Teoman connects with a crushing, sliding forearm strike and pins Frazier and goes up, one fall to none. So he's up, he has advantage. Frazier has to kind of pick up the pace, or else he's gonna, Teoman can pick up that second fall, and that's it. So he needs to get in there, and he needs to get his stuff going, and he needs to put together some sort of offense so that he can get that victory. Now, the third round sees Teoman continue to break down his opponent, but the momentum swings back in Frazier's favor, and a series of offense with a Hurricane Runner on Teoman off the top rope, a very impressive move. But he does that, but time expires as he attempts to pin, and Teoman is saved by the bell. Now the fourth round, and Teoman is still up one fall to none. And despite Teoman dictating the pace here, Frazier delivers a snap small package as Teoman comes off the ropes and gets a much needed pinfall to stay alive in the tournament. So now it's knotted up at one apiece. Now either man scores a fall next. Either man who scores a fall next will win. But they have 2 more rounds to do it, or it goes to the 7th round, and the 7th round we all know is the dreaded sudden death. No one wants to go that far. No one wants to go that long. They want to finish it within 6 rounds, or get those 2 victories like that. You want to do that. Now, I must say, matches under Heritage Cup rules have been my favorite in recent memory. And this may be my favorite one thus far. They still got the match with Gradwell and Wolfie with Wolfgang. And that might top this one, but this match was really, really good. I loved this match. It was, Teoman's beginning to convince me. He's almost starting to win me over now. Because he's always been a great wrestler, but it's like it just never was about him. But here, he really, really proved to me like this guy is someone to watch, man. And in the fifth, we see Frazer come off the second rope and attempts a death drop. You know, he does that thing where he flips over and he's about to drop down, like a scorpion deathlock kind of thing. But then Teoman reverses it and delivers a twisting suplex. And then, you know, it's a Falcon Arrow. And then Frazier answers with a suicide dive onto Teoman on the outside and connects with a diving elbow drop to Teoman on the inside. It's all over the place, man. Like outside, boom. As soon as he hits that move, throws him in the ring, sets him up. And he only gets a near fall when he hits that elbow. Now, he then tries for a Phoenix Splash, I guess what you call it. Normally, when you see the movie he did, people are like, you know, back to the ring and he backflip and do it, but he did it forward. I don't know if it's a Phoenix Splash, it might be a different thing, but that's pretty much what it looked like to me. But then Teoman delivers, because he misses, and then Teoman delivers a impact flipping DDT. Thank God for Nigel McGuinness. Some of these moves, I'm like, what is the name of that move? Or I know it's like this, but maybe it has a different name. But then he comes up with the names for these moves, and I'm going, man, you know. But it was an amazing thing. It's just like, what is that move that Roman Reigns does when he you know, goes to submit somebody, and they're facing upward, and he has them by the neck. Well, he did that with Nathan Frazer, and he flips forward and he DDTs Nathan Frazer. My God, man, it's like, you know, the choreography and the trust that these guys have with each other to pull off that move. You know, holy crap, you know, he does that. And then he pins Frazier 1, 2, 3. He was not going to get out of that. If he did, I would have stood up and given him a standing ovation, and I would be like, "You better win the match if you got out of that." But he didn't. 1, 2, 3. He's pinned, and Teoman advances in the tournament, and he will face the winner of Sam Gradwell and Wolfgang, like I said earlier. And then on the other side, we have Kenny Williams and Noam Dar. So whoever wins the match, let's say where it's going to be and goes to the finals, it's going to be a great thing, because either Sam Gradwell or Wolfgang will make a great Final Four in the finals. I mean, in the semis, that's going to be great. So whoever wins, it's going to be a great final. Whoever wins. So I'm looking forward to that next week. You know, this was the main event. What a main event! Still, in my estimation, is the best match with the Heritage Cup rules so far, and they've had some great matches. Especially in this tournament, they've had some great matches. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next week, and that's going to set up the semis, like I said, and then we're going to be going towards the finals. And man, I got to tell you, the finals need to be held somewhere special, not just on a usual episode of NXT UK, because it really does deserve that type of exposure. Because I'm sure a lot of people haven't seen these matches. A lot of people don't watch NXT UK. And I'm always on my channel just praising the product and the brand, the black and red brand is no joke. They really are up there. And a lot of these guys, they get exposure once they go to NXT. Like, look at Kaylee Ray now. She's on NXT. Unfortunately, they made, Piper Niven go straight to the main roster. But she's starting to look okay. Starting to look good. She finally broke off with that Albatross, Eva Marie. So, and you know what I mean? So, like I said, Pete Dunne, NXT, a lot of them that go there, that's the only way to get their exposure. And that's kind of like, they should be known when they're on the brand of NXT UK. But we can't have everything that we want, but I know I'm going to continue supporting these guys. I'm going to keep, and gals, and I'm going to keep singing their praises, because they get put on a great show every week. I've never been disappointed. And honestly, I can't wait for next week. I got a number of great matches going on, a lot of things going. And looking forward to the Sam Gradwell Wolfgang match. Like I said, that's going to be a banger. That's going to be a real hard-hitting match, and I can't wait to see it. But anyway, for those of you who stopped by and checked out my video, I appreciate it. And in closing, as always, take care.